For number 24, it asks us what my coordinates will be for the quadrilateral ABCD after performing a 90-degree counterclockwise or 270-degree clockwise rotation. So there's a couple ways to do this. One, if you know your rule or you know the wrap, we know that for a 90-degree rotation counterclockwise, again, the rule and the wrap are both counterclockwise, so you're going to deal with 90 degrees. 90 degrees, find the opposite of y, switch the x and the y. Or what you could do is you could actually plot these out on a piece of graph paper and then turn your paper 90 degree counterclockwise, one turn to the left, and that will tell you what we're dealing with. But if you know your rule, you can just apply that here. If this is 1, 3, what's going to go first will be my y, but it'll be the opposite sign. So instead of a positive 3, it'll be negative 3, and my x will stay exactly the same, it'll just be second. For b prime, my y, I'll take the opposite sign and put it first. X will go second. For c prime, my y will go first with the opposite sign, x second, and d prime will be negative 5, 1. So if you had instead graphed your triangle, and A was at 1, 3, B was at 3, 4, C was at 6, 5, and D was at negative 5, 1. Then a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation would look like this, where A would actually be at negative 3, 1, which is what we found. B prime would be at negative 4, 3. C prime negative 5, 6. And D prime would be at, I'm sorry, I wrote this down as D instead of my actual D, which would be 1, 5. So then when we rotate, it'll be at negative 5, 1. So you can always graph it out, do a little sketch on the side piece of paper to help you figure out where everything is going to be. For number 25, it's going to ask us for the center of dilation and the scale factor. So when we're looking here, we first need to figure out which is going to be our image and our pre-image. This right here is our pre-image because it doesn't have any primes with it. So since there are no primes, that means I'm starting here and I'm going to move to here. So this is going to be an enlargement. If it's an enlargement, that means that my scale factor must be greater than 1. So to find the scale factor, I'm going to compare AB and A prime, B prime. The reason I chose AB is because it's just straight across. I can just count rather than having to use the distance formula for either AC or BC. So AB has a distance of, it looks like about 3.5. And A prime, B prime has a distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're always going to put our pre-image under the image, and that means that my pre-image is 3.5, my image is 7. So 7 over 3.5 reduces down to 2. If you, I'm sorry, let me scroll over. If you had instead thought, okay, it's going to be 3.5 over 7, when you simplify that down, that becomes 1/2, which is not greater than 1. So figuring out if it's an enlargement or a reduction first is going to help you make sure that you set up your proportion correctly. So my scale factor is 2. Now, what I need to do in order to figure out where my center of dilation is going to be is I need to line up my B and B prime, the two that have the same letter, and draw a line that goes through both. I'll do the same thing for A and A prime. And for C and C prime. So everything intersects about here, which means that my center of dilation is going to be at -4, -9.